The JSE All Share Index was trading slightly above 72,500 on the first day of trading in October, following September's 3.4% drop. Investors are cautiously monitoring the outlook for the global economy against a backdrop of elevated interest rates for some time. For more on this and the moving of the rand so far, we are now joined by Senior Portfolio Manager Grant Nader at Benguela Global Fund Managers. Grant, the rand is losing ground against the US dollar. What's going on there?
The rand is in the same basket as all the other currencies. What we're seeing globally is that the dollar in particular is extremely strong. Rates are much higher. They're back to 2007 levels in the US, and that's putting pressure on all global currencies against the dollar. The rand is falling into the same bucket there. Earlier on this year, the rand was weakening on the back of its own problems, as we know, load shedding and the slowing economy, etc. But right now, it's actually moving more in sympathy with other emerging market currencies.
Now, the Absa Purchasing Managers Index fell to 45.4 in September 2023, indicating the 8th consecutive month of contraction in factory activity. Help us make sense of that data.
I suppose it shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone, as disappointing as it is. What we see is that demand is falling, so there's a lot less orders for new products, not just locally but globally as well. So coming out of Europe, we know there's a slowdown there. Germany's already in a recession. The UK is slowing dramatically, and so the orders have fallen there. We're also seeing in SA, as a function of load shedding and some of our challenges here, rates are higher, etc. Demand is falling on this side as well. And if you add to that, production is actually falling as well. So they're getting it on every side. Input costs are increasing. The PPI has increased. And so we're seeing a very low level of job creation coming out of that business sector, the manufacturing sector. So it is putting some pressure on the economy, and it raises some questions around the Q3 GDP as to what kind of number we can expect. If we had to look for one positive, the outlook at least has improved. It's up to 55, which is above 50 being an expansion, and that's the best it's been since March. So there is some hope that things are going to get better from here. That's the positive side.
Now, Grant, Calgary M3 updated its trading statement for the 6-month period ended 31 August 2023. Did anything stand out for you in this update?
Yeah, I actually thought they did really well. We all know how tough the economy is. We know that rising rates don't favor property, but they generated 13% growth in revenue, headline earnings to come somewhere between 28 and 48%. And I thought that was a good number, and they're generating a decent amount of cash flow, which is sometimes a challenge for home builders. And what we're seeing is that they're buying back nearly 20% of their shares, which is a significant amount. Having said that, the share's trading at less than 3 times earnings, so it appears to offer tremendous value. It's a characteristic we're seeing across a lot of the small caps on the JSE.
The Department of Public Enterprises has applied for leave to appeal a ruling ordering Minister Pravin Gordhan to provide a yes or no answer to the sale of low-cost airline Mango to a private buyer. Why have there been delays there?
This is really an interesting one. It's almost a protectionist move from what I can see. There seems to be concern that Mango might be taken out, one, by a foreign player, and two, will be a competitive threat to the aspirations of SAA. I think as a consumer, I'm quite happy to see some competition, and I'd like to see this deal go through. In business rescue, there's jobs that are not being created. There's money that's not flowing. I think this should go through, but for some reason it's being held up, and it's been almost 2 years now. And I can't really see a good reason other than a pure protectionist mindset here.
Grant Nader at Benguela Global Fund Managers, appreciate your time walking us through the markets this afternoon.